Today I am going to explain a romance thriller film called 7 Secrets from 2022. Turn on subtitles and spoilers ahead. At the beginning of the movie we see a very pretty girl having a photo shoot. She looks very lovely in her wedding dress and they are taking great pictures of her. This is Marissa, a beautiful young woman about to marry a rich and successful man named Chris. As she puts on her wedding dress, she talks about 10 important secrets of her marriage that should not be shared with her partner. Marissa agreed to follow these rules, but no, she won't be able to resist the 7th secret, which is her hidden desire for naughty games. A year later, Marissa's life is going well because her husband is a powerful lawyer in town who loves her. However, she dreams of becoming a famous songwriter and singer. For now, Marissa sings in a small cafe and hopes on bigger stages. Some days of disappointment, she feels stuck because she hasn't achieved anything in her music career. One day Marissa goes to her husband's office to bring him some snacks, hug and kiss each other. Shortly after, Chris' mother arrives. Marissa meets her mother-in-law, who always mocks her and tells her how good wife should act. Point out what she thinks Marissa can't do well. She asks Chris to go shopping and also asks Marissa to join them, but Chris leaves for some work. She then asks Marissa about her plans. Marissa tells her mother-in-law that she needs to work on one of her songs. As she leaves, her mother-in-law asks when she will give them good news, which makes Marissa a little worried. After thinking for a long time and not coming up with any good ideas, Marissa decides to take a break. The scene changes for Marissa sitting in a park, tries to work on her song, but she can't focus and her mind is elsewhere. To relax, she starts watching some videos on her iPad. She watches a school uniform. Moments later, a man named Michael Slade walks by the park and sees Marissa watching the video itself, smiles and watches the city. But he has fun, rings, surprises Marissa and makes her feels embarrassed. Michael, however, is not, but she thinks it is a little weird. After that, she walks around the park and calls Chris to ask what he wants for dinner tonight. Meanwhile, two men are nearby drinking and talking about personal problems. Soon one of the men leaves to use the restroom while the other notices Marissa from far away. He walks up to her and asks her to join him for a drink and hangs out. When Marissa says no, he gets angry and tries to make her go with him forcefully, but Michael shows up at that time and wants the man to leave Mary alone. Then the other man also arrives and they both apologize and walk away. After that, Michael kindly advises Risa not to walk alone in that park and suggest another place for her to watch videos. He asks if she was the person in the video, but Massa says no. Then he puts his number in her phone and invites her to a place called the Couple Club. Promises, imagines Michael carrying her on his shoulder and taking her into the forest, where he punishes and hits her for not writing a song. Then Chris comes into the bedroom and seeing that his wife is excited, he thinks she is dreaming about him, so he kisses her and they make love. After that, Marissa keeps hinting to her husband about her fantasy of being hit, but he ignores her signals because he is not comfortable with that behavior. The next day, Marissa waits for Michael to call even though she doesn't really want to, but she can't wait long. Marissa calls Michael, but she hangs up as soon as she hears the phone ring. She tries again, gathering her courage, but when Michael answers, she hangs up again. Michael knows she's unsure, but he's busy playing with his son. When his son asks who is calling, Michael lies to him. Just then, Marissa's police sister visits her and gives her pamphlet about Maris singing shows. Later, Marissa tries to learn more about the Corporal Club by searching online. Just then, Chris shows up and tells her he's going to be the state's youngest district attorney. Soon his boss left and now powerful people are backing Chris for the position. He also tells Marissa that family is very important to him and suggests they start thinking about having a baby. Marissa says she's not ready to have a baby yet because she wants to focus on her music and achieve success first, but Chris disgraces, saying they cannot wait forever while she pursues her goals. His words deprivate her and they end up argue later. Marissa goes to the Corporals Club and meets a woman named Olivia Devine, who is actually Michael's wife. Marissa scared to go inside, but Michael arrives and convinces her it's okay. According to her, she is safe. However, their conversation is interrupted. Have fun and be themselves while keeping their true desires a secret from society. Olivia then introduces Marissa to Valerie, who also works at the club, and punishes the woman they have to give them pleasure. Valerie tells Marissa that she works at the club made her loses her husband and career, but she thinks it's worth it. Moments later, Michael shows up at the club and Marissa finds out that he owns the place. To get Marissa's attention, Michael picks a girl from the club and punishes her while Marissa watches and decides when to leave. Marissa gets home. She spends some time with Chris and tries to get him to spank her. However, since he doesn't stand by her hints, Marissa loses control and yells at him. Days later, Michael comes back to where Marissa is singing and Admi Brand becomes jealous. Frustrated, she goes back to the club and asks Valerie to spank her heart. When Marissa gets home, she thinks about Michael and flushes her in the bathtub. Later that night, Michael calls Marissa and invites her to a party on Sunday when all the girls will dress as schoolgirls. Marissa has no reason not to trust him, so she promises to be there on Saturday afternoon. Marissa visits her husband's relatives because his older sister is having a baby. Marissa tries to please them with a gift and is very polite, but Chris' mother teases her every chance she gets. She makes her mother-in-law work, calling her unemployed and saying she has no achievements even though she's almost 30. However, Chris' younger sister supports and protects Marissa from these insults because she knows what it is like to be different and feel like an outcast. Later, Chris' mother invites the guests to play a game. She and her oldest daughter hand out flyers with pictures of flowers and ask the girls to find the matching flowers. The first person to do so will win $50. Everyone around to play the game as soon as it starts except Marissa, who is not interested in any of it. After that, Massa notices Chris' mother argue with her young sister because she doesn't like her behavior and appearance. Really, life must be judged for what she wants. Marissa decides to stop denials and go to the Corporals Club. She dresses like a schoolgirl and feels a bit embarrassed, wondering if she's doing the right thing. However, when she sees Michael, she gives in to his charm and he takes her to a room to have fun while Olivia watches him close the curtain and tells Marissa to kneel. He then lifts her skirt and spins her a hard, mixing pain and pleasure. When Marissa gets home, she smiles at the red marks on her body in the mirror. She ignores her husband takes and calls as he is away on a business trip. However, when Michael takes her, she replies excited and thanks him for a wonderful evening. Later, she decides to follow her dreams and applies for a singing contest. Meanwhile, Olivia goes home and plays with her son, revealing that she is Michael's ex-wife and still in love with him. The next morning, Chris comes home because Marissa has not answered his calls and texts. Marissa tries to talk to him about her dreams, but Chris thinks she is talking about her music and promises to support her, then tells her plans to announce his candid sentences on their wedding anniversary. After that, Chris asks where she was last night and Marissa lies, saying she had dinner with her sister. Meanwhile, Michael comes to pick up his son and Olivia asks him to stop talking to Massa. Olivier says he treats Marissa differently than others, but she decides to help Marissa save her marriage. Marissa real-life husband, so she decides to give up her dreams. She gets rid of her schoolgirl outfit and starts ignoring Michael's messages. Days later, on the anniversary, Chris announces his plan to run for district attorney at a press conference. Like others, he promises to fight crime and help their community grows. Olivia arrives at the conference and sends Marissa a video of Michael spanking her. Marissa is surprised to see this, but she tries to stay calm in front of everyone. However, Olivia keeps bothering her and even sends a message to Chris. Marissa gets scared and starts to panic, but it turns out that Olivia only wishes him good luck. Then Olivia sends Marissa a message asking her to meet in the restroom. When Marissa gets there, Olivia starts threatening her, saying she wants to control her and Michael's lives. Marissa says it was a one-time thing and that nothing will happen between her and Michael, but Olivia does not believe her. Olivia tells Marissa she must keep going to the club, but only with her permission. Marissa is not ready for her demands and tries to hide in the bathroom stall, but Olivia keeps threatening her and says she will expose her in public. Marissa feels dejected to Olivia, demands Olivia kisses her and invites her to the club next day, then leaves. Marissa forces a smile and goes to her husband for the press conference. Marissa says she has never felt more